Think you know all the pleasure zones? Think again. Most of us focus on the obvious ones, but what if I told you there were unexpected and often overlooked areas on your body that can send shivers down your partner's spine and take pleasure to a whole new level? In this video, we're diving into the erogenous zones you might not have thought about, and be sure to watch till the end for a tip that could change your pleasure game. I'm Karen Bigman, a certified sex educator and menopause coach. If you're new here, I have a weekly podcast called Taboo to Truth every Tuesday, where I explore the often taboo subject of sexuality in midlife and so much more. If you like what you hear and see, be sure to subscribe and share this channel with your friends.
Want to learn some new ways to turn on your partner? This episode will change the way you look at sex and experience it. As you develop your sexual script, you likely think of erogenous zones as the obvious places like your genitals, maybe your breasts, or maybe your anus if you're a little more adventurous. Actually, there are many more places on the body that can be erogenous zones and can really help you get turned on and expand your sexual repertoire. Your biggest sex organ is your brain, and I have a friend that can even bring his girlfriend to orgasm simply by talking her through it. Think about that. He doesn't even touch her. But your biggest erogenous zone is your skin, because it is all over your body. And there are so many places on your body, on your external body, that can be stimulated to bring you incredible pleasure. I actually just learned that for a woman, the number one place to be stimulated with the most nerve endings, the clitoris. But the second one is the fingertips, and the third, the lips. They have the most nerve endings on your body. And for a man, it starts with fingertips, and then it's the eyes and places the face, the ears. So there are so many places. Depending on the amount of stimulation, you may or may not be brought to orgasm that way, but it can be an incredibly erotic experience. Let's start with your lips. Your lips, third most nerve endings for a woman, second most nerve endings for a man, next to the fingertips. You can use your lips. You can use your tongue. You can kiss someone in ways that are incredibly sensual. You can do a tongue-to-tongue kiss without even using your lips. Just the tip of your tongue can be an incredibly erotic experience. Now take that tongue or those lips and start to kiss your partner on the forehead, on the eyes, on the cheeks, around the ears. Don't stick your tongue in there unless that's something they really like, because that gives me the heebie-jeebies when someone does that. It reminds me of those wet willies I used to get as a kid. Don't do that. Some people really like that. Start very slowly and very erotically. It can feel amazing. Next, to really spice things up, and I would not necessarily say there's any sequential order to any of this. Fingertips, number one on men, number two on women, most nerve endings. They are a tool. They can also experience their own stimulation. Using your fingers to touch your partner slowly on their face, on their neck, on their shoulders. You might want to just trace your finger down their arm. Some people find this part of the arm, I've even heard, incredibly erotic. The folds of your elbows. You can touch them. You can go back and kiss them and lick them slowly and make your way down your partner's arms. Some people like to be kissed in their armpits. For me, if there's hair there, not so much, but that may be your thing, and it can be extremely erotic as well. Now, take your partner's fingers and start kissing and licking their fingers. Think about that. Just their fingers. You haven't even gotten near their genitals yet. I just wanted to take a quick break to ask you, if you're enjoying the show, why not hit the subscribe button? That makes sure that you're notified every time a new episode comes out and when the bonus episodes come out. And if you really want, you can head over to my website and pick up a copy of your Pleasure Playbook. Now, let's get back to the show. You want to stimulate very gently and very slowly. And maybe the goal is to not even touch the genitals for the entire erotic experience. Think how wild you're going to drive your partner. Now move down the body. You may get close to the genitals, but you want to go down the sides of the torso, not even touching the breasts, but the sides of the torso, and kiss them and touch them and lick them. And all these places are erogenous zones on your body. Your hands, your mouth, your tongue, touch your partner's thighs, touch the inner thighs, but don't go into the genitals. Just touching slowly down the body, behind the knees, down to the feet. Maybe start massaging the foot. The bottoms of your feet can be stimulated and feel really, really good. Some people like to suck on toes or lick toes. Now, you probably want to have clean feet because a clean body in general really makes the difference, but whatever floats your boat. Maybe you shower beforehand and then you get naked slowly and just start to look at each other and touch each other. And then finally, if you feel like you just can't take it anymore, then head to the genitals. Not just the vulva, not just the penis, but underneath the perineum, the in between the bottom of the vagina and the anus and the bottom of the testicles in the anus are also an incredibly sensitive spot that can stimulate the clitoris for the woman and the prostate for the man. The key is to be present and mindful. As Peggy Kleinplatz says in her book, Magnificent Sex, one of the keys is to truly be present and focused on each other. It's almost like yoga nidra, if you've ever listened to that, where they talk you through different parts of your body. Think of it that way and just absorb each part of your partner's body. Just stay in one place for a little while. You can really build the anticipation and get the arousal going. You may not need to do anything just from doing the touch, just from touching your partner. You can move to penetration, but maybe you don't need to. Or if you are, you may be extremely well lubricated and then you're really in the mood. So you've brought yourself or your partner to such a height of excitement that the next phase of your erotic encounter is really amazing. I'm going to add one little note for those of you that like to explore cannabis. Cannabis can really heighten your senses. And if you're the right amount of stoned, not like overly stoned, you can really feel everything that's going on. I know I had an experience. I'm not a big weed taker, but I did have an experience once that was, to this day, one of the most incredible sexual experiences. I can remember every detail of it. I really was like present with every touch, in case that's something you might want to try. Sometimes weed can have the opposite effect, so you need to know your body. But even if you don't add cannabis to the equation, you have many erogenous zones. Don't limit your sex to the genitals. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, follow, and review the podcast wherever you listen. And go ahead and share it with a friend or a partner and make the world a more sex-positive place.